This is what you need to know about me. I'm solving this problem for you. You're paying them the profit first before you even paid what you borrowed. 15 years in is when you start to pay more principal than interest. It's really robbery. Really, think about it. I'm gonna show you too. But who would let you do that? Ain't nobody gonna let you take over their mortgage and keep it in their name. People don't do that. Remember, most people don't want to sell their house, they have to. So I don't wanna get all sciencey on you. And you're gonna see the genesis of this, okay? This was the beginning. This house is in my city. This is in a neighborhood that is coined God's country. I love buying houses in God's country, personally. Some people don't like it, but I'm the bank. This house, the existing mortgage was $123,817. Back payments, $41,436.40. They hadn't paid the mortgage in 3 years. 3 years, I'm like, well, where was the bank at? They didn't think about foreclosing, but the bank has already made money on that mortgage 10 times over. They do some stuff on the back end. I don't want to get too crazy, but I am a PhD at this, so I know what they do, and we know how to fight it. But anyway, they let them ride with the 41,000. They were about to foreclose. This one had 16 days until the auction when I found it. 4.5% interest. The mortgage payment was $955.57 a month. Now here, this is where I got creative. Because at this time, remember, I only got my first house in April of 2021. So it hasn't been that long. And I was just coming off being a landscaper. So it's not like I had a bag of money to drop on somebody. I had to make it happen. So I paid him $5,000, but I paid the $5,000 to him after this house was fixed up and sold to my tenant buyer. So I didn't have to use my own money. I just used the down payment money to pay that 5 Gs. I don't even think I had it at that time anyway. That's why I negotiated it that way. Hey, I'm solving this problem for you. You don't think that we can stop the foreclosure because you tried to do a short sale and the bank denied you, but this is what you need to know about me. And I actually have this phone call recorded. When I call the bank, I'm not requesting anything. I'm not asking permission for anything. I'm notifying you how I'm moving forward. And there's absolutely a difference in that. Absolutely. So that's what I told him. He's like, okay, man. I'm like, cool, I'll show you. So, and I showed him. I got him on video when I paid him the 5 Gs. Beautiful thing. Anyhow, I got no mortgage payments for 18 months on this thing. And they were 41,000 behind. So I didn't have to pay the 41,000. And I didn't have to pay that mortgage payment for 18 months. Now I know that sounds improbable and impossible. I know. For most people it is, just because they don't have the right information. After the 18 months, we do a loan modification on those back payments, the 41,000 and whatever mortgage payments that we didn't have to pay for the 18 months. We do a loan modification, you take that whole chunk and it goes on the back end of the mortgage. And then you just start making those payments anew. So you don't even need money down. You just got to start making the payments when you're supposed to. So you keep up with the letters they're sending you, but I'm about to show you something. Now, the fix on this, it had squatters in it, but it was like his family members. There's actually video on my social media of me. I had an event in November when I got this place and we did a tour. And I was supposed to take possession of this house the day I had the tour. God is so good, but they were still in there. They weren't supposed to be. So there was a bit of a, discussion between us. I kept it classy, but I mean, geez, y'all are in my house that I didn't have to pay for, but it's still mine. Anyhow, the fix on it's $25,000. Remember, I can't swing a hammer or a screwdriver. And I wanted a $40,000 down payment on this thing. So all in with the fix and with the debt we're taking over, it's $153,817. Now, these numbers are estimated right here, and I'm gonna show you why they're not here in a slide or two, but I made this slide before while they were estimated, okay? But I'm gonna show you how they're not estimated anymore. These are actual numbers. So our estimated sale price now is $215,000. Remember, the mortgage I'm taking over is $123,000, $5,000 once we sell it, fix it up and sell it, and then $25,000 in the fix. We actually spent about $27,000. Well, I didn't. So $153,000, selling it for $215,000 on terms. We want a $40,000 down payment. That's gonna pay that $25,000 for the fix. You just said you spent 25 Gs. You like to have that back, I can tell. Yeah, I see it. You like, man, I want my money. Me too, that's why I don't do fix and flip. Anyway, so we wanted to get a $40,000 down payment, which we did, and I'm gonna show you. But once we get the $40,000 down payment, guess what our buyer still owes us that's buying on rent to own? $175,000. We took over a mortgage of $123,000. After we have gotten $40,000, we're still owed $175,000. Well, see, the problem is that there's big banks and then there's little itty bitty houses. Every big city that you go to, the biggest building in that city will probably be owned by a bank. And it's because of interest. Most people in the world don't understand how interest works. And the banks need you not to. That's how they make all the money. So they'd owe us $175. We gave them a 15-year mortgage at 6%. The mortgage we took over, 4.5%. Now 1.5%, well that ain't nothing. Shoot, that ain't even no money for all that work. Y'all don't know. That's a lot of money, that 1.5%, because it's over that 30-year term. And mortgages are front end heavy with the interest. You pay that first before you pay the principal and all those payments. So you're paying them the profit first before you even paid what you borrowed. 15 years in is when you start to pay more principal than interest. It's really robbery. And then they make you go through HE double hockey sticks to get the house, to get approved for the house. Really, think about it. If I go into the bank and I say I want $60,000 for this Range Rover I'm about to buy, oh, well, yeah, you sure, just sign right here. Now, if I go into the bank the next day and I want $60,000 for this house I'm about to buy, well, that's a different process. And that's when the hoops start, because that's an asset. The Range Rover's a liability. So I can get that easy. But the asset that's gonna make me money, well, that's a whole different ballgame. So anyhow, I digress. Our payment that we're getting from our buyer is $1,476.75. That means that payment, the mortgage payment, we get the difference. That's that income I was talking about, that steady income too.